think I may have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich after this. Maybe.
What kind of jelly?
Grape jelly, I think.
No, I don't mess with that.
You don't mess
No
with
grape jelly.
that.
I don't mess with grape jelly.
What does that mean?
I don't mess with grape jelly.
Yeah, I'm good. So,
You
Daniela,
sure?
Yeah. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm ready to go. I am ready to go. Which is rare, because you usually ask me, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, I think I'm ready.
Why does this always change when I come back to the screen? It's like it always looks fine when I first initially check it, and then it moves. There. We're ready. We're live.
Word. So let me just take a peek over here.
Got a nice cool breeze coming through right now for me.
Word.
Yeah.
That awesome 80-degree weather almost every other day. Maybe some rain, right?
I think it's actually okay. It's my cold, not your cold. It's my cold.
Which is what? 74?
76.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding me right now.
But it doesn't feel, it feels colder than that, actually.
Oh my gosh.
It does.
Okay. All right. So, Danielle, this is episode 479. How you feeling?
Cold.
Okay. Well, besides that, what's going on in beautiful Hawaii?
Nothing really. It's amazing that it's already December. And, you know, when it comes to this time of the holidays, I actually do wish I lived in an area that experienced all holidays, because I get to see people's pictures, and maybe like some of them, it's like snowing, but even the ones that in areas that it doesn't snow, where it's actually nice and just cold,
Really?
like Southern California in the morning, and you have people like kind of like bundled up a little bit, and they get to experience that kind of cold. Like, I miss that. I want that.
I like how
Here,
you put that in quotation marks.
Well,
Like,
because it's all relative of who's cold it is.
Yeah,
like for me
76.
right now, it's cold. Yeah, at least right now. It's like 3 in the afternoon. No good. Like, it's a nice chill factor that's coming through the wind and everything like that. The trade winds. That actually feels colder than that. But, you know, it's nice when you have that experience going through the holidays, and I kind of miss it. I don't know. I want that instead of having summer all year long, every day.
Okay. So you're listening to episode 479. I'm your host, Andrew.
Hey guys, I'm Danny.
And this is your source for tech, gaming, and entertainment news. Head over to theshowradio.info. Once again, that's theshowradio.info. And check out our past shows while you're there. Subscribe and tell a friend about the show. This episode is very, 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 very neat. There's some sad things and there's some happy things as well. But before we get into that, I definitely want to find out a particular segment that we haven't done in my mind a while, especially at the top of the show. What are you playing or streaming these days?
Trying to be really diligent and sticking with games here and finishing out. So let's see. I've been playing Fallout 76.
Okay.
That game is just like taking the best of me. I want to quit this game so bad.
Give me more. Like, what's the state of Fallout 76 right now? Because I know they're trying to do a patch, or based on what I saw, maybe they're preparing a patch or a big patch to fix things, which that's what they're supposed to be doing. So what's the state of it right now?
It is so incredibly buggy. It's painful to play, to be honest. Okay, this is coming from this perspective of playing it on the Xbox One, and just the standard edition, not the S, not the X, just the day one Xbox One. It stutters a lot for me. Like, I'll be running and it'll just like drop frames, or my character will just stop. It crashes. Like, especially when I'm getting into, I guess, fights, when I'm getting swarmed by whatever the baddies are. I can't remember the names. The ghouls. It's so painful. Like, I die so often because my game is stuttering and dropping frames during those moments. When I can just be out and exploring, it's fine. It's a beautiful game. Stuttering is very minimal. But going into certain areas, like, I think it takes a while for the quests to update. There's a couple instances where we were playing last night and we went through all the steps for like this quest to be completed and done, and it wouldn't register the last step. And we were trying eventually, like, you know what, let's move on. And then eventually, like maybe half an hour later, it will trigger. I'm like, oh, quest is complete, da da da. And you get the little notification. You're like, we finished that already. Like, why is this so delayed? There's another one where we have to clear out the ghouls from this racetrack, and two of the ghouls, like it shows the waypoint where they should be at. There's nothing there. You can hear the audio cues, but there's nothing there. My gosh, I can't do this. So I guess hopefully maybe with the next time I load in, they'll be there.
Right.
Maybe. But without the NPCs in that game, it feels so empty. It feels so, I don't know, it's not so rewarding. I'm not too sure what I should be looking forward to. And when we complete these quests, I don't feel like I accomplished anything.
Okay, so I'll ask this. What was the last game that you played before Fallout 76 that was like this buggy? You did any PUBG stuff?
Yeah, it wasn't this buggy. I mean, it had some issues, but it was still a playable game. It was still an enjoyable game. I don't know. Like,
that's very telling.
Feel like the Radical Heights, maybe.
Okay.
But that's because that game was like in this like pre-alpha state. It wasn't completed. So you accept that there's going to be problems, and there were a lot of problems, but it was in the pre-alpha/alpha state of the game. It wasn't complete. So, you go to expect it. When you have a game that already released, it's not in a beta, it should be the full game, and you're having that issues.
Right.
No, it shouldn't be like, you shouldn't be experiencing these things. And the fact that the last update that I got for Fallout 76 was like 49 gig update. That's huge. And it just made the game worse for me to play. And apparently there's another one that's coming, December 4th, I think I was told that there's going to be an update coming for that. And there should be some quality of life things. And then, but we'll see. I'm just trying not to drop the game. There's some fun aspects of it, but really, it is so trying.
All right, so I've never played Fallout. Is it like a shooter RPG type, or what is it?
Yeah,
like?
It is.
Post-apocalyptic stuff.
Yeah, so it's supposed to take place before any of the other vaults happen or open up. So it's before all the other Fallouts, which is the reason why there's no NPCs. I think that's why there's no NPCs, because you're the first people who came out of your shelter, and here's this devastated planet. You're the first people to come out, so you're building up this world now. But it's so sad and it's so lonely. Okay. I can't. Like, if this was the Fallout 4 DLC multiplayer, which I believe it should have, like, it was intentionally meant to be that way.
Right.
Great. This one, I'm not feeling it. I'm playing it because I want to finish it. I want to see what the end boss is like, which is supposed to be like a tie-in with the Skyrim somehow. But and I'm trying not to have so many games unfinished.
So Fallout is the only thing you're playing right now.
What else am I playing? Party Hard, Red Dead Redemption 2, which that one isn't a bad game. It's just not my genre, and I'm still gonna keep playing it. I didn't get to try any of the online beta stuff though. Okay,
cool. So then we can scratch that. Okay, all right. Anything else?
And then I think we returned to play some Gears Horde with some friends on Friday. That was a lot of fun. It was just that the last time we played Gears Horde, or just Gears in general, I think was a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. And we all had the season pass. So there's a bunch of maps that we didn't even get to play on that we're like, I don't remember this one. Let's go and do this one. Let's go and do that one. That's awesome. We didn't want to do any of the multiplayer. We just wanted to kick back and relax, and forgot how fun it could be trying to remember the controls again and all the movements. It was a lot of fun. That's awesome. I hope the guys are down to play again this weekend, because I would love that.
That's cool. Well, I'm pretty predictable at this point, right? I did play Yakuza though, Kiwami. So I did.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did jump in that a little bit. Had a lot of fun. The menu system was a little bit different than Yakuza 6, so I'm really trying to get a little bit familiar with that. Looking forward to jumping into that again. Of course, Destiny, and specifically Shattered Thrones was like a, I don't know if you call it a mini raid, but it's a long process to get an exotic weapon. This particular bow called a Wish Ender, which was really dope. So I was able to experience that. Oh, so the clan thing. I know I kind of briefly touched on that, like, what was that, a week ago? Right? In
Yeah,
terms
I
of,
think so.
Yeah, because my thing with that, because I know I never got a chance to explain to you, so I guess let me just air it out right now, is I was looking for a lot of individuals to play with on a regular basis, and it seems like everybody was so scattered, playing different games. And some of us are not necessarily playing Destiny at the time. And I was like, okay, so I felt like I was doing a disservice to the individuals in the clan that I had, because I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't right to just be like, okay, hey, let's play. But I felt like people were suffering with just the amount of people that were playing only. It was like 2 or 3 of us, right? So I was like, okay, to me, it felt better to make everybody a free agent and then get picked up by another group that they probably play with on a regular basis versus then staying with the thing that I had. So I got picked up, and like, I think the next day, or it seemed like it was like the day of or the next day, with a clan that I was playing with often enough, because they were playing a lot of Crucible stuff. And the whole point of all that is Destiny 2 is much more fun when you're playing with a group, unless you're doing stuff like a strike here, but if it's like a major activity, like, to me, I consider Crucible a major activity. I consider going for the raid stuff obviously is a major activity, because you need like a good group of individuals that are dedicated to the task for that. And I was looking something that was more consistent, at the same time fill up that experience bar before the season was over, right? So there was that, because you have to fill up the bar, and then the faster you fill the bar, the quicker you get the engrams and rewards for that. And it doesn't happen as fast if it's less people playing, in the particular group. So I made a decision, closed down my clan, became a free agent, got picked up by another clan. So far, so good. I like them. They're a pretty cool group. They're called Lego Dragons. Having a lot of fun with them. So that's what happened there. So the other game that I really want to go back to, because I was surprised how much I liked it. So this is like intentional, that as I'm thinking about it, is Journey. Journey is a beautiful game. I want to go back and play that. And I think that's it. For the most part, I was streaming the Destiny stuff. I want to go back into Journey. I streamed a little bit of Yakuza. That was cool. I really enjoyed that. I love that series, and it's going to help out a lot, because since we're still waiting for Shenmue 3, and we don't know exactly when that's going to happen. I know they got funded, or they made a lot of money based on one of the points that we made in the previous episode. But that's holding me over until they do whatever they're doing with Shenmue. So, yeah. So that's what's going on with that.
That's a lot.
Is it really?
I feel it's far more productive than what I've been doing, though.
Well, I mean, a couple of things happened. My Plex server crashed. I had to rebuild that from scratch. I think we talked about that. So that's up and running. I noticed. Huh?
I noticed. I noticed. I was watching something too, and then I went back like, okay, put it back up. And I look, I'm like, it's not there.
Yeah. So no, it's good now. You should be good now. So that should be great. No challenges there. So all the permissions have been given back to the people that I really vibe with. Get access to that. It's not random. So that happened. So that should be good. A buddy of mine yesterday, because I was running for pizza at his house, and then he was like, yo, I have these gigabit switches here. And I was like, yeah, I know. I've seen them every time I come, and I still don't have one. So he was like, okay, Merry Christmas. So he gave me a 24 port gigabit switch. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. I installed, it's not really installation, but I put that on the network, and that's running well. And the 8 port I gave away today. So little things like that, just fixing stuff, cleaning stuff, purging stuff, prepping clothes to donate, all that exciting stuff around Christmas time. So that's what's up right now.
Man. Ruru says, aren't most games more fun when you're playing with a group? Yeah, most games, at least most games that have that multiplayer aspect to it, whether it be versus or co-op.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. So I guess a little bit more on that. Destiny is really, I like playing lone wolf anyway, but Destiny is really lonely when you're playing by yourself. Like it's really, and the fact that LFG is available and some of these other groups that can help you out to just join them for the guided games thing that they have, which is really cool. But I really wanted a group that, whether I was online or offline, I still have access to them by way of conversation. But at the same time, when we go online, we just crush when we're playing like PvP, right? That's what I wanted. And I think that the group that I have now, it organically took place. And I was like, okay, when season 5 starts for Destiny, the first order of business for me was to figure out what I was going to do with the clan thing and how that was going to make those changes. So now here's the thing that I want to address too. So I wanted to be a free agent to whoever decided to pick me up, right? And whoever made that decision first is where I was going to go. There were 2 or 3 other groups that I could have gone with. I didn't want to ask them because I felt that was kind of weird. Like, hey, can I be in your clan? Can I be in your clan? Can I borrow your stapler? I didn't want to do that, right? I didn't want to do that. But at the same time, the first person that said, hey, we noticed you didn't have a clan. Can you join us? And that was my theory. And then that's how it happened. It actually happened on stream. So once that took place, I think that, it organically happened that way. It wasn't forced. It wasn't, what's that word when they say, did somebody make you do that kind of a thing? What's going on, Taco? Thanks for hanging out. Rue, thanks for hanging out. So I wanted that. So it was a very natural progression of not being a free agent anymore and then being part of a group and then, and just enjoying the game. And since Destiny is the only thing I really play right now, I really don't play much of anything else besides Destiny 2. It was a perfect fit into how we do things. So, but Destiny is different solo. It could be very, very lonely. And that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I also forgot, we can talk about this later. Earlier in the week and a little bit before that, I was actually provided the code, and the game I've been playing is Persona 5,
Word.
Dancing in the Starlight. Word. So we can talk about that later too.
I did see that. So where do you want to put that?
To the review in the gaming section.
Yeah, so let me put that right here. Persona, can't type, wait, hold on. Persona 5. Sweet. Okay, so 478. So why did we say 479? We said 479 because 478 is already in the feeds. That was a conversation that we were trying to have, just to give you a background. And I want to do more of this, give you information that I don't share anywhere else, which is why I think the podcast is so special to me and Daniela, is we share a lot of things here that we don't necessarily share on the Twitters and the Instagrams and stuff like that. So this conversation, as far as the Mu6 headphones conversation that we had in 478, which is already available now, was like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks in the making, Daniela? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Just before, maybe the week before Thanksgiving?
Right. It felt that way. So we started having conversation surrounding that particular headphones because of a conversation that we had recently about just doing what you do as far as creating content. And who knows, maybe companies will reach out to you and give you an opportunity, right? That was recent. That was maybe 2 episodes ago, maybe something like that. So it was a perfect thing that took place. And I don't know, maybe it was prophetic, maybe it wasn't, I don't know, but it was very cool how it took place and how it happened. 478, I believe, is a great conversation. And one of the things that I was proud of, Daniela, and I think that speaks to the both of us, is we try our best to be prepared in some of those conversations that we have, right? Even if it's impromptu. And as I was having the conversation with Ming Ming, she said that you're the first person that read all the stuff on a page to make the conversation add value to us, right? And I thought that was interesting. I said, out of all the different conversations you've had, out of all the interviews and all the product demos and all the individuals that's currently talking about your product, why are we the first? I think that's sad. It speaks volumes to what we're trying to do here, right? In terms of providing value in however way we can, right? But I thought that was sad for the individuals as a collective body of tech and games media. That should be, we should be better. I guess that's what I'm trying to say there. So I don't know, how far did you get to listen to the conversation? If you did,
I listened to the whole thing.
All right, cool.
I listened to the whole
so talk to me about that. Would you tell me some thoughts?
You know what? My favorite part of it is that it didn't sound like, I guess, a marketing conversation. It was very organic. It was very natural. And it's like, I like those. I don't like that feeling of like, here, this is what I'm trying to sell you. Like, yeah, she contained a lot of information about the product, about the price points, about the comparisons, all those things that you would expect from, I guess, a marketing conversation. But she spoke about it as if it's something, which I'm sure she does because of the way it came across, as something that she's passionate about. And I love products like that. I love companies like that. And that was my biggest takeaway. I know that doesn't have anything to do directly with the music's headphones itself, but I can always stand behind a company that's like it.
Yeah, I was nervous like going in to the conversation because I still get nervous when I have to do these things, and so I'm like, okay, you know, a couple of minutes before going on the conversation, I'm like, okay, I mentioned that I wanted to record it. She was okay with that. So now, okay, so like 2-3 minutes, then the call happens. So now we're on the call and we're kind of breaking the ice, right? And I was like, you know what? There's just, you know, I have to shake it off after a while because, you know, then you got to switch the mode. You know, you got to go into the mode of, okay, I want to provide as much value as I can to the individuals that we love here who are going to be listening to the actual conversation. But at the same time, I want you to give me everything that you got as far as this product that is, from what I understand, is in the prototype stage right now, I think, right? Based on what we understand it to be, based on the Indiegogo page information, which is public information. So went in, it was very cool, great conversation. I wish I had the opportunity to meet her when she was here before she went back to LA, but maybe that'll be a different meeting for another event or something like that. So 478, I really enjoyed it, and I believe that I believe it came out pretty good. But I'm biased, you know. That's our baby, right? I think she looks good. She took the bus by herself, right? You know, I waited. You know what I mean? So yeah. I think it was pretty neat. So that's was any other thoughts on that?
No.
Okay.
I just it's just for me that just as a listener, because I wasn't able to be there as a listener, I can't reiterate how much it means to me for a company to be as organic and natural with the conversations like that. Because if I ever get that salesman pitch, I kind of almost tune it out. Like, I don't remember what they say, or I end up not caring because, you know, like I can read about the specs. I can read about your drivers. I can read about that all I want. I want you to tell me, like, why should I support your company? Why I should support you? And that's like the fact that she was so friendly, so nice, so welcoming, and like the conversation that you guys had was kind of like hearing like two friends hang out and chat.
Yeah, it was really dope. I really had a good time talking with Ming Ming. She is really dope. So definitely check out 478, which is already in the feeds right now. Okay, so we talked about the gigabit switch. I'll put a link in the show notes for the type of switch it is if you want to look into that. Okay, so I definitely want to say thank you, Daniela, because you saved me probably hundreds of dollars, right? Because it was early a particular morning where you hit me up and you were like, okay, the Steam link is back and it's available. And I checked just before we recorded this episode 479, and it's not available anymore. And they're going to ship me the one that I ordered, and I rarely buy anything, rarely. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger on this. And mine should be here Wednesday. I think that's what they're saying. So, so thank you for giving me the shout to get on that. And, I'm looking forward to just testing it out, adding it to the network and playing, one of the games that, you gifted me on Steam and seeing how I could do that. Cause I still have to figure out how I do the controller thing with the Steam thing because I'm not using a Steam controller. Can I use my PlayStation controller in that whole setup? I don't know. I have to figure it out. Maybe, maybe not. But, I thank you for, saving me, a lot of cash. Because they're upselling.
Let's see how it works out.
Yeah, they're definitely upselling that a lot on the Amazons and eBays and stuff like that. So, so you've used it. I've never used it. I've seen it in action at a buddy of mine when I was in, I think, San Francisco one time. I think she had it. So, give me the scoops. What am I expecting with the Steam Link?
I use my Steam Link in a few different ways. So it's pretty much I can play my PC games and link it from my PC to my TV outside, which is great for those co-op games that I have. And amazingly enough, there was a time where I actually, how do I put that? So I use a service Rabbit so that I can watch, like TV shows or movies with a group of people. So you create, a room. And then I control it. I can sit on my PC and watch it, sure, but it's more comfortable if I can just watch it on my 55-inch TV. So I can actually use my Steam Link, which will capture everything that's happening on my PC, just a screen. It doesn't even have to be a game.
Okay.
And it'll just play on my TV that way as well, too.
What did you call it? You said Rabbit?
Yeah. So if you look up the link, rabb.it.
Okay.
That's what this website's called.
Okay. And you're using,
so that you can,
what are you using, Netflix or anything to create the room?
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so it brings up a virtual machine.
Okay.
So you can bring up a website to watch whatever, whether it be your Netflix or your Hulu, log in using your information as you normally would. But then you can invite up to like 100 people online to watch it with you. And there's a chat room in there. There's a camera if you really want to use your camera, or a mic if you guys want to have chat. I usually just have it up there, bring it up, and then I can just sit in my living room and watch it with like a bunch of people. And then I just use my phone just to like type in chat.
That's really dope.
So that's how I was like kind of like using it.
That's really
It's a nice
cool
feature.
Okay. All right. So can you use your PlayStation controller with the Steam Link or a controller with?
Funny enough, yes, you can in a way. I forget what it is because most of the time we're just using keyboard and mouse.
Okay. I'm excited about it.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm definitely excited about it. So that should be
$2.50.
What's
I feel
that?
like you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with $2.50.
Why do you say it like that?
Because that's so cheap. Okay, I thought I got a deal, and when I bought it for $5, and you got it for even half of that. So it's like,
yeah. And I should have taken advantage of the $5 deal, but I was like, it'll come back. And when it did come back, it was like, if you don't get it now, oh well. And I was like, I couldn't let it go. So that's what happened with that. So that's what's going on with that. Excited to get that here. That should be here Wednesday. We'll see what's going on with that. Okay, so I did see. Did you hear about this Instagram close friends thing?
No.
Okay.
But I don't know. I know it applies to the stories. Instagram stories.
Yeah, the feature allows you to choose whether an image is shared with the masses or just people on your close friends list when you add it to a story. No one will know whether they've made the cut to your close friends list or not, so you can select whomever you'd like to be included. and then it gives you, talk about that kind of thing. Stories I haven't really taken advantage of yet. I know you've done different things with stories. So how do you use Instagram today, for you?
I don't really section it off to where it's only to specific people. I
Okay.
can see why the feature would be there, but it's there for me to have it to the public masses. It's too much of a hassle for me personally to be like, all right, you're close, you're not, you're close, you're not. I know that there's a feature on the stories in which you can prevent certain people from seeing it, like hide from so and so, hide story from so and so.
Right.
I know there's that option, but I don't really have anything to hide. I'm not really doing anything where I don't want a specific amount of people to know I'm not, where I'm at. I guess that's one of the features I would see it being like I would use it for. Like if I go to an event, I want everybody to know that I'm at an event because I want to see people there. So I'll post it when I'm live. If I'm doing something that's personal, like if I go to the beach, most of the times, okay, which I really don't normally go to the beach, but this is just an example. And I don't want people to know that I'm there that day. I'll take pictures, but I won't share it on that day. Maybe I'll share it like a week from now.
Okay. So now I'm curious. How close is the beach to you?
It's about 5-minute drive from the closest access point.
Okay. You're just not a beach person, or?
I don't like having to like pick out sand out of my hair a week later.
Got it.
So.
Got it.
No, not. I like fresh waters. There's a lot of freshwater rivers and stuff that I can go to. So that one I don't mind. Plus it's colder.
Was it 74?
Oh, that one we're probably looking at around the 50s because it's up in the mountains, elevated. It's really cold.
Got it. All right. So, privacy is big, right? We want it. We need to have it, right? Especially in this day and age. There's a particular browser that I've talked about before in previous episodes called Brave, but apparently there's some other browsers. Tor has been around for a while, and this particular link in the show notes speaks about 4 of the best browsers for privacy. And Brave is my favorite right now. Brave is what I'm using like right now, okay, as we record episode 479. So far, according to the stats, trackers blocked 2,095, ads blocked 58,967, and HTTPS upgrades 103. So it gives you all the stats every time you open a new tab. It's nice. I like Brave, and I like the fact that I can install my LastPass in there, and maybe some other extensions like uBlock Origins and stuff like that. So I want to hear your thoughts on definitely what browser you're using now. And
I actually use like a mixture between Brave and Chrome.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
There's certain sites that I can't bring up or it doesn't load as well on Brave that I have to bring it up on Chrome.
Right.
But yeah, those are the two I bounce between.
Okay. So in this particular link, it talks about Epic Privacy Browser as number 1, which I was surprised because I've never heard of this one before. And it gives you the features about that. Tor browser was number 2. Waterfox was number 3, and Brave was number 4. So Brave did make the cut, and number 5 was an actual browser, which I didn't think was a browser. HTTPS Everywhere is an extension as well as a standalone. Oh, it says it isn't a standalone browser. I thought it was a browser. So this is an extension. I love the extension because I've used it for Chrome. It works really, really well. And those are the things that they mentioned for privacy. Going to have the link for that in the show notes. And Brave, I really dig it. I really dig Brave. Okay.
What I like about Brave is that it still really is the fastest loading browser that I have. I just wish that it would work with some of the stuff. Like I can't use it for any of my Twitch stuff.
Okay. I can't use it for Spotify Web. Did you check that out?
Tried that. I don't think I've tried that. No.
Yeah, because it says, please allow, enable the browser to do this, and that. And I'll go, okay. So I'll go into the settings to try to enable the request that it's asking me to enable for me to get Spotify Web, and it doesn't work. So it doesn't work I don't know if it works for Chromium or not, because I've used Chromium as well. Definitely works fine in the Firefox browser, and it works fine in the Google Chrome browser, but it does not work in Brave. But if putting that aside, for me, I know Twitch is important for you. So the fact that it doesn't load the Twitch stuff, that could be a pain. Everything else that it does. No, go ahead.
No, I use it for like my actual like daily stuff. Like,
right.
Well, not, I wouldn't say they're daily. I would say more of like, what, I know there's a word for it, but like my personal banking, my Fidelity, like those personal items, I use Brave.
Nice.
And it works just fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan. So that's what's going on with that. Definitely check that out. The U.S. Army has awarded Microsoft a $480 million contract to supply the military branch with as many as 100,000 HoloLens augmented reality headsets for training and combat purposes. That comes in the Bloomberg article. Thoughts on that?
That's not surprising. I mean, it's not the first time that somehow the DoD or the military has supplied, stuff for them to go and experiment. Like there was that I forget how many PS3s it was to make that supercomputer.
Word.
Whoops. Loaded that up by accident. But I'm not surprised. But that's a lot of units though.
Yeah.
That's a lot of units.
Yeah. U.S. Air Force connects 1,760 PlayStation 3s to build supercomputer.
Yeah. See?
2010. That's crazy. So that's what's going on with that. Hangouts, I don't know how I feel about this particular bit of news though. Hangouts may shut down in 2020 according to Google. Your thoughts on that?
Well, it sucks, but then I think most people are still they're migrating over and using Discord. It's just so much easier, I feel.
Because?
I don't know, it's just something I use daily. The fact that we can have these private calls, I think it's up to 8 people in a call. That's a nice service. Currently, right now, it's not fully optimized for too many private calls, but it is like nice and still works.
Okay, so why were you considering Skype still, or why are we still considering Skype?
The only I don't know if it was so much considering it as I wanted to see the function of the NDI pull-ins. Because right now, for us to use Skype, I have to do a screen capture to bring in our camera overlays. Whereas with Skype's NDI, it can just pull from that source. I don't have to do any screen captures, and I wanted to see how that workflow and overhead would work for at least for my setup.
Okay. So,
but obviously we haven't tried it yet, so I'm like even just taking my time on that.
Yeah. Okay. It's all good. All right. It is what it is. So Hangouts, I haven't used them a little bit. I've definitely been really having a great time with WhatsApp on the web as well as on the phone. So, and it was cool because when I recorded the Skype conversation with Ming Ming, I just did the OBS recording from there, and I got exactly what I needed to get. So at this point, it doesn't matter what the app is, as long as it allows me to record the conversation. That's where I'm at, because I think that for that conversation to be recorded and distributed into the feeds, if I didn't have a way to record that conversation, then I would have been a great conversation lost, right? It would just been a conversation for me to get information about a product that I'm excited about, and then I have to share it with you. But the fact that she was on the conversation and we captured that, I think there's something special about that, right? Any conversation, right? If someone gets an interview and I always want to hear this person's perspective on something, or even like Meek Mill, which I like his body of work. He had a conversation recently on YouTube, and I was listening to that and watching that, and the fact that I was able to hear that and not hear somebody talk about it was, is great. So whether it's Skype, whether it's Skype, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Hangouts, as long as we're able to capture the conversation, I'm great. But this thing that you're saying about the workflow, which will help you set up faster, is something that we should definitely see if it is as good as they say it is, right? based on what you've heard. So I'm looking forward to that. So either way, it really doesn't matter in the sense that as long as we're capturing the conversation, we're able to distribute it. I think it's going to be great for the listening ear.
And there's now a lot of different ways to make that happen too. A lot.
Word. Absolutely. I know there's extensions that you can add to Discord and make it happen. I haven't necessarily ventured in those, but I've seen them. Those bots that can actually record the audio for you within Discord if you want to do that. There's obviously the big one right now, which does Swiss Army knife of everything. OBS is really, really dope. As I dive deeper into learning on how to use it, it's like, what can't it do, right? That's really where we're at with that. But yeah, so it's definitely exciting stuff.
Where are we at now? Oh wow,
we just talking.
Oh, that was our tech. That was our tech stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're just flowing. We're just flowing today, Daniela. That's what we're doing. All right. So next thing we have is Plex. Now gives you the option to stream title subscription within the app. I know earlier I was talking about Plex and rebuilding the server, and it crashed to pretty much 0, and I had to rebuild everything, rebuild the OS and stuff like that. That was a pain, but after that, the ability to have individuals enjoy that platform is great. Tidal, I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on Tidal, Daniela, how you feel about that and Plex user experience overall, and yeah, go from there.
Well, I don't have as much experience with the whole Tidal subscriptions. I saw that on there when you brought it back up, but I like Plex a lot. I really do. Regardless if I'm using it on my desktop or using it on the app of my Amazon Fire Stick, I don't have any complaints for it at all, except for when it went down. But
except for that one time that you failed the city, and it was bad. I was so angry. Like, I was so angry because I didn't know like why it went down, and it was just like, okay, what's the fastest way for me to bring it back to where it was? I was ticked, but yeah, I'm okay
I figured you were doing an overhaul.
No,
like, oh, okay.
No, the real overhaul is what we were talking about before, where the NAS is being built. That's going to be the next version of that, right?
Okay.
That's going to be like a tower with drives in it, kind of thing. That's going to be in the same corner as the laptop that's running the entire operation right now. Okay, the closed laptop over there behind me. Okay, so the NAS is going to play a big part to, I guess, make it a little bit easier. I think, maybe I can repurpose a laptop for me to use it again as a daily driver or whatever, because it's lighter than this Origin PC that I'm using right now. But that's a whole other thing. But yeah.
What kind of ups do you have attached? Do you have an ups that you use for that, since it's always on?
Your
laptop in it.
It's usually on the what?
An ups, the uninterruptible power supply in it.
That thing. That thing. Is that the thing?
Do you have one?
No. I have. I usually just put it on the sleep mode, or I lock the screen. Why am I thinking of another thing? Is there another company that does that, maybe with red letters on it?
There's several different versions of it, but it's
Right.
pretty much like a backup power supply unit. So
Yeah.
if the power goes down and you have a surge of power, it doubles as a surge protector. But like, say you lose power,
Right.
but you don't want it to immediately shut off,
Right.
it'll have enough battery life so that you can be able to, like, you'll keep it powered, but it's enough so that you can go over there and do, your manual shutdown and bring it down.
That's why I was like,
it up.
dude, my brain just like stopped working for a second, because I'm thinking APC.
Yeah, that's one of the companies. That's one of the companies that has an ups.
Yeah, because when you said
So that's what
ups, I'm like, upload? What is that y'all talking about right now? What do you mean ups?
No, I was just wondering
Like,
if
if
you
I
had
could,
a-
if I'm playing basketball, do I have ups? Yeah, I got ups. I can jump a little bit. I got some springs. Okay, yeah. Not understand what you mean. No, I've never really used a backup power supply ever. Yeah, I should put that on my list for Christmas.
Yeah, there's a few up there, and I've been kind of wanting to get one, just because we have a lot of power surges here, a lot of power outages, And for the most part, like, I mean, I haven't had anything bad happen. I think the worst happens when I come back from vacations. And see when you come back, Justice. But yeah, I was just wondering, since you always have that on, like if you had one set up with it.
Yeah. So the thing, okay, so let me map this out real quick. So the laptop runs the software, and then there's an external hard drive connected to it. And usually it runs. It's running a Linux OS, and I set it and forget it. And that's it. I haven't really had a major issue besides what just happened a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. But I should look into that. That's not saying that what you're saying is not valid. Is that I've seen the red letters, and I kind of knew what it was. I didn't know that UPS was another version of it or another company, but I've never said, hey, you know what? I definitely need to consider that. But maybe I should. That's where I was going with that. Yeah. Okay. that went all the way that way. Right? Okay. So EDM album from Ninja. Ninja's venturing out different things. I think 3 songs are available on this particular project. This project was announced maybe a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, based on what the article was saying. And I want to hear your thoughts on this. Ninja's EDM album, Daniela.
So yeah, he's working with a few artists to create an album that is very much inspired by Fortnite. I think they have a couple titles, even one's called Tilted Towers, which is a point of interest on the map. It doesn't sound bad. I mean, if you like EDM music, you know, pretty much on par there. It doesn't sound bad at all. What I want to know is, can I have this? Can I play this music without it being muting my VODs or being DMCA'd? I probably not. But it's nice to have some options out there outside of like Monster Cat and everything. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. He just seems to have his hands in everything. And I don't remember what the event was. I know that Ninja had an event. It was yesterday or the day before. Because he also has his own mouse now, which is I honestly thought they were shoes. This is how much I don't really keep up with Fortnite news too much anymore, or Ninja. But they were called the Ninja's Air 58. I seriously thought they were shoes. I don't know.
Like
that's what it was. And I saw the outside, like, I had a friend who posted up a picture on Instagram, and it had like this nice cherry blossom art to it. Ninja Air 58. I'm like, oh, that's a nice shoebox. He's like, it's not shoes.
Nice shoebox.
I was like, oh, what is it? It's a mouse. I was like, oh, and I guess it's like, it's supposed to, there's a lot of holes in it, and it's supposed to feel light as air.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Air 58 Ninja, and weighs in at 58 grams. Is that good or bad? I don't know what that means.
I don't know the metric system. I don't know weights here.
Grams.
But yeah, it's supposed to be light. It's supposed to, like, you know, the sweaty palms, you have the air holes in there, and it's supposed to be really accurate. And I looked at it. I'm like, I don't know. I guess it looks cool. I was happier thinking it was a pair of shoes.
Air 58 Ninja with handmade haiku scrolls, air and art. Beautiful, like an ocean breeze flowing under your hand. 58 grams. Should we say more? Words can't explain. Must experience. I don't know. I don't know what this gram thing is in terms of, like, my mouse, which is a Logitech, what is this? MX Master. I doubt it's 58 grams, right? Versus this thing. It's probably
58
really
grams is equivalent to 0.127 pounds.
It's probably this MX Master is probably pretty heavy.
I don't know. Like, the last mouse like that I had was actually weighted. So I'm used to having more weight on my mouse rather than less. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on it. I didn't get to try it. I've just Ninja's everywhere and into everything. And you know what? He probably does have a pair of shoes coming out at some point.
Probably. Okay, so this is your one of your favorite artists, I believe, right? If I remember correctly. Tina, how do you say her last name?
I don't know how to pronounce. I butcher people's names. Gao.
You'd say Gal? Okay, we'll go with Gal.
But yes, she's an amazing artist.
Yeah.
Musician.
Yeah, she does a lot of cool stuff. So she's the cellist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dope. I think that I don't remember what I was watching, and she was very vibrant and animated in this particular performance. Maybe it was Game Awards last year. Did she perform last year? Was she on one of the things?
Maybe I think she was, and I think
and I was like,
it was last year.
Who is that? Like sticking out like a sore thumb, based on like into the experience. Like, and if you watch any of her videos, whether it's a God of War theme track or the Wonder Woman track that she has on her YouTube channel, she's just like, and the cosplay that she does, which is really dope as well. Definitely check her out. Recent thing 3 days ago was the God of War theme, which is really dope.
Yeah, I would love to watch her live.
Yeah,
that's on my bucket list.
Definitely a performer. So definitely check that out. Blade Runner anime, Daniela?
I didn't even get to watch the latest one yet. And Just a Dead Man 13, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. We're doing pretty good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here for episode 479.
Chilling out, recording some cool conversation.
Yeah, I haven't even watched the last one yet, but I think I'm not mad at it.
Okay. Very, very okay.
I think it's definitely a genre movie that deserves to be as an anime too. Like the whole cyberpunk feel. I think that's almost one of the standard genres for animes. I mean, you got series like Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed. Like it just makes sense.
Absolutely. So I'm excited about it because I remember after I watched the recent Blade Runner, one of the things that I did notice that they did either within that time frame or right after that, they released those small mini pieces, right? That's still connected to the same universe for Blade Runner. Prior to that, I remember we were having a conversation surrounding watching the original film, which was still dope, right? It was 1980 something or whatever it was. I watched that and then I went into the new Blade Runner and I was like, the first film was just amazing, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing if they're going to tie this particular Blade Runner in the same contextual universe, if you want to say that, for that. But it was a sad week for me, Daniela.
Okay, wait. I didn't read the article that you linked yet. I just knew that it made sense and I'm not mad about it. I remember hearing it. It's funny that I mentioned Appleseed and Ghost in the Shell because I didn't realize who was behind this anime series of Blade Runner at all whatsoever. It's the first paragraph right there.
I know.
It's that Blade Runner Black Lotus, 13 episodes, directed by Shinji Aramaki, who directed the Appleseed films, and Kenji Kamiyama, who directed Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
That's
so
pretty
it
good.
Makes perfect sense. I'm like, all right.
That is pretty good. Blade Runner characters, and it takes place in 2032. This sets it 17 years before Blade Runner 2049 and 10 years after Blade Runner Blackout 2022. So yeah, so looking forward to that exciting stuff. So yeah, it was a sad week though.
Okay, I asked you this question. I asked you this question last episode too.
Stop it.
I did. I asked you about it, and you're like, "Nah, it's not gonna happen."
Okay. So last episode for those for you listening right now, that would be 477, not 478, because 478 was a different conversation with Ming Ming, who is coming out with a dope headset called Muse 6 headphones. So 477, I was amped, right? Because I was just on the tail end of watching one of the most amazing series right now on Netflix, which is called Daredevil, right? Amazing. All the way through. I mean, all the way through, Daniela. Okay? It is amazing. So I'm like so amped. And I'm like, you know what? In 477, I said they can't do this. Okay? They can't. And from what I understand, season 4 was pitched or talked about. And I'm like, they canceled it. And there's like a big cliffhanger, if you want to call it that, at the end of season 3 for Daredevil, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do with that? So there was outrage, there was disappointment, there was a great relief, but I'm still frustrated though. Like I really don't know what to do there, because I'm like, okay, it went out on a high note, and the fact that it ended that way, that's great. But what am I going to do with the information that I have right now at the tail end of that? So now I'm upset, and I'm really very, very disappointed. But at the same time, I'm watching House of Cards, which is pretty good, thus far. It's still building the pieces in there. But Daredevil being canceled is like, yo, man, we just talked about this, man. Like,
and you were so certain, like, they're not going to cancel it. They can't.
Absolutely not. And what they do, they canceled it. So what's left? What's left? You have Jessica Jones and Punisher, right?
I think so.
I think that's it, right? So let's pull up.
They're next on the chopping block. I mean, if they cancel Daredevil, why are they going to keep Jessica Jones and Punisher?
Okay, all right. So
you're like defeated. I'm not going to say already. I'm not going to say that.
All right, so
because even Sick Nasty said you totally jinxed it.
Oh my gosh. All right, so pulling in from this particular article, right? It says Daredevil marks the third show that Netflix and Marvel have canceled. Iron Fist and Luke Cage also ended this year. Jessica Jones and The Punisher are the last two remaining series in Netflix and Marvel's collaboration that have not been canceled yet. So you have the stuff going on with Disney. According to this thing, it says Disney's gearing up to launch its own standalone streaming thing in 2019, and it's in the process of distancing itself from the Netflix stuff. Theatrical releases beginning in 2019 won't be available on Netflix, while Marvel Studios begins to prep a series of original series for the standalone service. Characters like Loki, Scarlet Witch, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier are reportedly set to receive their own series. So I'm not totally upset. I'm irritated. I'm disappointed, but just some shows I think should live on, and some shows should die, but not. I didn't think that this was going to die like this at season 3. So I'm still working it out. I'm not healed yet.
So what would you think if they put it on Hulu?
I don't care where they put it, Daniela. Okay. I don't care.
Just put it back so I can have season 4.
I don't give a rip. I don't care where they put it. I just want the show. But now I have some fill-ins, right? So I have House of Cards, and then I have Ozark, and then I have Voltron, which I still wanted to catch, which is lighthearted. Venom, which we'll talk about in a few, which I checked out. There's some stuff. Jessica Jones, I'm like, maybe I should finish it at this point. I don't have anything else to watch, right? No more Daredevil, right? So maybe I should finish Jessica Jones. So I am watching it in anger, right?
Wow.
And same thing for Luke Cage, and same thing for Iron Fist, because Defenders we did finish. Punisher, definitely ran through that. That was really dope. So that's what's going on. But I think that because the characters are so well done, right? Matt Murdock, right? Karen, Foggy. Well, definitely Matt Murdock, because that's Daredevil, and they're saying that those characters are going to be, they're going to live on in other series. That's exciting to see. So maybe it's a money saver. Cut the whole thing, but still have the characters show up in other things. I don't know how that works. I don't know how the showrunner stuff works. I don't know how the executive producer stuff works as it relates to 13 episode series and stuff like that. But maybe if I cut this whole thing, I don't have to film it, and I only have to film 1 or 2 things with this particular character being introduced in a series that we already have. So does Jessica Jones, making an appearance on what are they? I'm so tight right now. I don't even know what's left. We said Jessica Jones and what now? And Punisher.
Punisher.
Right?
Yeah.
So Daredevil showing up in Punisher, that's cool. Maybe Jessica Jones showing up in that world, that's cool. Maybe that's a money saver and preparation for some other things. This really irritates me as I talk about it. I'm just going to say that.
Okay. Prediction. My prediction here is that they are going to cancel Jessica Jones and Punisher. But I seriously think that they will actually put it or bring it over to Hulu. For whatever reason, I don't feel that Disney is going to put it on top of their personal streaming service.
Okay.
I don't even understand why Disney is creating their own personal streaming service. Because, well, right now, Disney owns 30% of Hulu. They're also already have a deal in place to purchase an additional 30% of Hulu from Fox. Comcast owns another 30%. And rumor has it that if or when the deal closes with Fox, that Comcast is open to selling their portion of Hulu to Disney, and that AT&T holds the last 10%, of which they are interested in actually selling it to Disney. If they're already at the end by I think it is the first half of 2019, they're already going to own 60% of Hulu. That other 40% is interests and rumors. But either way, that's still more than half. So if you own more than half of already streaming service, why would you create another? Why not just use Hulu for that? But I feel like they have a good chance of just bringing it over and making that content, because obviously people liked it. You loved it. There's a lot of people who love that entire Defender series and all of those characters, that it kind of makes sense just continue it on. Like, why lose out on that viewership and that those potential viewers and possibly new subscribers by just killing it completely? That's my prediction. I think it's just going to be on Hulu.
Okay.
You're like, I don't care. Put it anywhere. Put it on YouTube Red.
That's another interesting conversation because of what's going on with YouTube right now, but we'll talk about that too. So that was really that's actually next. I didn't realize that's next. So YouTube Premium is changing. Daniela, you heard about that?
I don't really pay attention to YouTube like that. Okay. I don't know why. I pretty much use YouTube for quick videos. I think I use it mostly for tutorials than anything else.
Okay, so let's open it up a little bit. YouTube is gearing up to offer its prestige lineup of original series and films for free to all users, turning to its traditional ad-supported system in an attempt to bring in more viewers. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I only literally the last, I know that they have the YouTube Red and whatever premium thing. It always tells me to go and purchase it. I always say no, but I didn't associate it with anything. And only in maybe the last week, maybe 2 weeks, did I realize that there are series on YouTube. And the reason that I found that out is that my coworker was watching some TV series on YouTube, and I'm like thinking, like, did somebody just like rip it off? And they're like, oh no, it's actually legitimately on YouTube, and I pay for this service. And I'm like, what? So I only just discovered that. I'm probably super behind on it, but that's how little that I pay attention to it, and that's why I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know what that means. What does that mean for just a regular casual YouTube viewer?
They probably don't even know about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Users had to pay $12 fee to watch an entire series.
That's crazy. Okay, let me see. Okay, so are these the series? Chat, let me know. Groom, that's one of them. The Thinning, New World, something. Origin, 11 episodes. No, Bodied is that movie that Eminem was doing the thing on. Foursome Season 4. Yeah, these are some of the things I'm seeing on the YouTube Originals page. I have no idea what any of those things.
I don't like that. I don't care to have YouTube have content like that. I mean, if let me rephrase that. I don't care for YouTube to have TV series contents from already AAA established studios. Like, I'm not going to expect anything from Fox, from MGM, or from whatever studios. I wouldn't. If this was a feature where you have up and coming directors, producers, and actors putting out content to make their own series, I can understand supporting that, because that's what YouTube was for me from the very beginning, and for a lot of people was for content creators to get their ideas and establish, you know, I guess their image or their style or their voices. That's what it's always been for me, and that's what I would like to continue to see it as. I don't want to pay for like see other celebrities that I can see anywhere else. That's especially on YouTube. Unless okay, it was something. What was the thing? Oh God, what is his name? I can't remember his name. He did that little video clip for Nathan Drake. Oh my God, I feel so bad for not remembering his name.
What, the actor?
Yeah.
The fan film that was done recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Fillion.
Okay, I can understand.
YouTube.
Having, actors of that capacity. Yeah, it's Fillion.
That was good.
Create content, fan-made content like that, because it's something that they did that they enjoyed.
Right.
And that's cool, but that's still something that's fan-made. He liked the series. He loves the studio. He made something. It was really, really cool. And it was like a one-time thing, although I kind of want another. For the most part, I don't want full AAA production studios creating stuff on YouTube. I don't want to see that. I wouldn't even support that. I wouldn't even bother to even give it a chance at all. But if you have like students that are coming out of film school or acting school or whatever performance thing, and you have them putting together these really great productions, or even getting funding a little bit from YouTube to create these like series in their own production studios, awesome. You have like, it's a way for new people to come up and build up their resumes, and for us to experience it and be a part of that. Other than that, I don't really care for whatever it is that they're doing, how they're monetizing it. That's just weird. For me, that is just weird.
Oh man, I think you really feel passionate about this one, Daniela. Just because
that's not even YouTube. That's not what YouTube is to me. Okay. I am going to be that grumpy old YouTuber, get off my lawn with your AAA movies person.
I see. So are you excited about the next thing though? Cowboy Bebop live action?
I don't know.
You don't know? Netflix has ordered the planned live action adaptation of the iconic anime series Cowboy Bebop. The series is described. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you thinking?
No. Finish that off.
The series is described as a jazz-inspired, genre-bending story of Spike Spiegel, Jet Black, Faye Valentine, and Radical Ed, a ragtag crew of bounty hunters on a run from their past as they hunt down the solar system's most dangerous criminals. Daniela, how you feel about that?
I am still not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure?
Okay, so Netflix right now, let's see what their live action film adaptations for anime. So if they
just gave you Castlevania.
Yeah, they did, but this is live action. So their animes are good. Their live action adaptations of animes is a little bit of a hit and miss.
What was that Book of the Death thing? What was that? Death Note?
Okay, Death Note, that's what I mean. That was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. Like, I demand they redo that and try again, because that was bad. Oh my God, that was painful to watch. But Bleach was fantastic. I loved Bleach. So if they can go the Bleach side of things, then yeah, I'm excited. But if they go the Death Note side of things, I don't even want to touch that.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't see either, but I'll take your word for the Bleach one, because that's Bleach is a long running anime also, right?
Yep.
Okay, that much I remember. Okay, fair enough.
That's where I'm feeling about it. I'm like, It's like a 50-50 for me at the moment. It's really hard to take, a long-running anime series that has built up a huge fan base like that and then try to make a live adaptation of it and expect it to remain at least somewhat true. Like Bleach, there were some things that had to be changed. I got it, but it was still enjoyable and I still loved it. I still love the anime more. But Death Note was like, my God. It was almost as bad, not as bad, but it was almost as bad as the live action Avatar. And that movie almost killed me. Maybe I might sound a little bit dramatic
a little bit.
But worst live action adaptation of animes is going to be number 1, Avatar, number 2, Death Note. Please don't make Cowboy Bebop number 3. See, even Taco, he says he's worried about Cowboy Bebop.
Oh man,
I'm not the only one.
1998 to 99, Cowboy Bebop TV series. They did a movie, right? Didn't they? That one time, they didn't do a movie at one time.
I don't know. I'm not as huge of a fan.
I think
Cowboy Bebop. I don't think it's bad.
Cowboy Bebop movie. I feel like searching today. Cowboy Bebop the movie 2001. Yeah, it did happen. Okay. Fair enough. So Creed 2, right? Creed 2 is getting a lot of dope conversation surrounding it. People saying it's really, really good. One of the recent things that I did see is Stallone retiring the Rocky Balboa character and passing the torch to Michael B. Jordan in an Instagram video. Thoughts on that?
I think that's cool. I mean, as much as like Rocky is probably a huge staple movie for so many people, you have to let it go at some point. And I'd rather it be handed over and have the series continue on with a different character and a different story rather than it being remade. I'd much rather have that. So, Rocky, Sylvester Stallone can still be in it, but it's not about him. And I swear Michael B. Jordan got like 2 times bigger from Black Panther. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what have you been eating?
Dude's built like a tank. So I was listening to an interview that he did recently. I think it was Breakfast Club, where he talked about he'd much rather do. Let me phrase this way. He wants to do a film where he has to change his diet for that character and not so much like be in the weight room all the time for the characters that he's been playing. Very interesting conversation with Michael B. Jordan.
He's huge at, and I saw the trailer for it and it looked good. It didn't look cheesy at all. I'm actually looking forward to it. Word.
So that's what's going on with that. I really enjoyed the Rocky series. Always have the music, the score for Rocky has always been like very uplifting and motivational, like especially in those key moments where you're trying to do something and you want to hear that championship style motivational, you can do anything, and that kind of
Eye of the Panther.
Eye of the Tiger.
It's gonna be Eye of the Panther.
Could be. you want it to be Eye of the Panther?
No, I mean, obviously, I think some people are gonna probably expect that Eye of the Tiger will probably be played at some point. But even if it's not, can there really be any other hype song that can replace Eye of the Tiger? Like, for real, I can't picture it, because like once you hear that song play,
yeah,
I think everybody's pumped.
Okay, so there's some soundtracks that are iconic in any age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top Gun, great. Gladiator, amazing. Okay. And then, of course, the Rocky series. I'm sure there's other ones, but those films are so great. Maybe because they're my faves, right? And I know if you're listening, you probably like at least one of those, whether it's the Gladiator one or Tom Cruise with Top Gun or Rocky, but all those soundtracks are super amazing. So I don't know. Top Gun does it for me. Some of the songs there definitely do it for me. Highway to the Danger Zone, that's an amazing soundtrack. Score.
A lot of it, a lot of amazing soundtracks really comes out from the 80s and like the early 90s.
Yeah.
Because there's like, yeah, it really is that ones that stand the test of time. Because even current movies in like maybe the last 10 years, yeah, there's a lot of movies that had, really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
But they're not memorable.
But they're not, yeah, that's the thing. They're not memorable. It's not like if you hear that song, you're going to think of that movie, you're going to think of that moment. But
no.
Yeah.
Like Ip Man 1, 2, and 3. That has a great soundtrack too. The song that was played during his snow training montage in Rocky 4, amazing. Back and forth training with Rocky and amazing. Yeah, all those, you remember those, right? I think Ip Man was good too. It's obviously later, but there was some great tracks on the Ip Man stuff. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, that was great soundtrack. Okay, what do you call that? Once Upon a Time in China, 1, 2, 3, 8, 10, however many they did with the character Wen Fei Hong. That's great. Iconic songs and scores. But I don't know. You can go on and on with that.
I don't think anything can top Eye of the Tiger. At least for Rocky series.
At least for
the Rocky series.
At least for Rocky series. So that's what's up with that. Okay, so Luther, excited, series 5 coming soon. Trailers out for that. That's about a minute and like 40 seconds or something like that. Definitely excited with everything that they're showing in there. I think it's going to be a 4-part series. I don't know why I said port like I'm from LA. 4-port. I don't know why I went there. But why did I think LA when I said that either? I don't know. But I'm excited for Luther. One of my favorite shows. We talked about that maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. How iconic that character, DCI, Luther, amazing detective, crime drama.
How mad you're gonna be that I haven't watched it?
Daniela, come on, man. Just 1 episode. 1.
Okay.
Just 1.
What's it available on?
Netflix should have it right now. Let me check Netflix. I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, my last pass. Okay, work it, last pass. Do it. Signing in to never remember my password.
Dave, you look like you shop at AutoZone.
Thanks. Jeff, if you can believe in yourself half as much as you...
Because that's going to go on the show. Luther. Yeah, it's there. So you have available for you right now 4 series, and then they're doing 5. Such a great show, Daniela. I'm telling you, man.
Telling me more than
man. It's just.
So is this greater than Daredevil?
That's an interesting conversation. I would say my zeal to watch it is as they're close. They're really close. Okay. Yeah, they're really close. And the characters are just amazing. Yeah. So we talked about maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago that everybody needs an Alice Morgan in their lives because she's super crazy. But I like crazy, which we talked about that to some degree. I like contained crazy, if there's such a thing. And friends and colleagues and stuff like that, where I know that they, they can go off, but at the same time, I trust them. It's kind of weird. But that character, Alice Morgan, is not necessarily contained crazy because of what took place in the show. But as she builds a relationship with the main character, Luther, that's just a beautiful dynamic to watch. And it's a memorable dynamic on the show. So I recommend anybody, if you like crime drama and you haven't watched Luther, you're doing yourself a disservice. Whether they cancel it or not, I'm going to be upset. We already know that, just like they did Daredevil. But, yeah, give me 1 episode. Give me 1 or 2 and tell me, not my thing. Or I can't stop watching. One of those things.
I could do that.
Word. So that's what's going on with that. Luther is exciting, definitely exciting stuff. So Venom is interesting. Venom. So these are impressions, reactions for this particular movie that I just watched 2-3 days ago, maybe. Okay, so I'll say this. I'll start the Venom conversation this way. Why am I laughing? I don't know why I'm laughing. I feel very giggly today. So I've always enjoyed Carnage and Venom and Spider-Man and those characters, the web slinging, if you want to say that, characters. Well, symbiotic is not web per se, but don't be very overly critical of what I'm saying right now. Slinging through the city, that kind of a thing. Those characters I've always enjoyed. So watching Venom on screen, I was not watching for a story. Okay? So I'll say that. So my evaluation of the movie is not what I've been seeing out with what you've seen probably with the critics and the reviews and the super movie review people and all those things. I enjoyed Venom because for the first time outside of the comic books, I saw a character come to life and it reminded me of what I used to read. That's it. This, I don't know if you want to call him a disgruntled failure of a reporter, which at a particular point in his life, he was doing amazing until, things just went left. I expected Eddie Brock's character to be what I saw on screen for Venom. Very, ruddy, right? In terms of the way he looks and the way the character was portrayed. So I expected that. I expected him to have, just be a little cocky and arrogant about, how he presented his reports and stuff. Very aggressive in his approach. I expected those things. So when he, quote unquote, got paired with the Venom symbiote, that made sense to me watching it. It could be completely off based on what I used to read many years ago in the comics, but the way they created the symbiotes on screen, I thought was amazing to watch, and how they were paired with, different human beings and that kind of a thing. Action for me was enough. Comic relief, if you want to call it that, from time to time was enough for me. Whether this character is owned by this company or this, all that stuff, I don't get involved into that conversation. I leave that to the individuals who know all that stuff. Whether Venom is owned by this company or that, I don't know. I don't care. But watching it was really fun. And that's how I really feel about it. I think it was really cool. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. I enjoyed the scenes that the action scenes were really dope. I enjoyed the fight scenes were dope. And the villain was really creepy. Really creepy. And that was interesting too. So overall, I dug it. I dug Venom. I know many of you did not, if you watched it. Some people felt that they wasted their money seeing it. I don't know. But I liked it.
As long as you liked it.
I
haven't watched it yet. I'm not sure if I want to watch it.
Because?
I thought it looked cheesy to me. It's going to be one of those things, look, I have nothing else better to watch. I guess I will finally watch this.
Okay, I bet you it's more fun than Fallout 76.
Okay, that's probably true. That's probably 1,000 times true.
I'm just saying.
I'll give you that one.
I was just saying. So it was cool. It was cool. So I enjoyed that, and I guess I'm easy to please in the context of movies and action and stuff like that. If I can appreciate the character, the introduction of a particular character, and it makes sense for me that they humanize this person and the actor does a fairly decent job presenting it, I'm in. Next thing I probably want to do is Predator. I want to watch that, the one that just came out. I'm considering that. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy it over Vault things and
Vault thing
and non-NPCs and stuff like that. So, which I know nothing about. I just hear these things. So yeah, so you mentioned that Red Dead Online is not a thing for you right now. Maybe future?
Yeah, I'll try it. I just haven't turned on Red Dead in the last few days.
Okay.
Because I know they had stages of it about when the beta was going to be available. And I think it was the 30th that it was available to everybody download and try out.
Okay.
And yeah, this weekend was just dedicated to Gears and Fallout 76. So possibly tonight, tomorrow, and go and see if there's an update and if I can get into that and check it out.
Okay.
See what it's about. Maybe I would like it. See, the difference why I'm not enjoying Red Dead compared to Fallout as well. Red Dead is a very smooth game. I'm not having any personal problems with it. Just genre is not really for me, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm running around my horses doing these quests. The story isn't compelling to me to want to pay attention.
Okay.
So I'm still struggling through that part. But beautiful, beautiful game. So it's not all bad.
Quick question with Red Dead. How much dialogue is there? Is there a lot of dialogue walking around and stuff?
Quite a few. So like any time that I'm riding past somebody, they have like, the NPCs have something to say. There's a lot of talking that goes on in I guess the different quests that I take, even the small ones. It's amazing that they have so much to say for just bounties that I'm picking up.
Okay. Fair enough. So that's what's going on with that. Looking forward to hearing more from you as it relates to Red Dead Online. Okay, so this weekend, what are we on? Okay, yesterday, the 1st, I was playing this particular thing in Destiny 2 called the Shattered Thrones, which I had no idea what I was doing. So I was being carried the whole time. And at the end of that whole process, I think it's like a 2-3 phase process, kind of like a mini raid, as I think it was referred to as that, where I'm going to get this bow and arrow called the Wish Ender, right? And the Wish Ender is one of the best bows in the game. I know there's the Acidic Bite and there's the Subtle Calamity. I think that's 2. And then there's Wish Ender, which is 3, and there may be one more or whatever. But the Wish Ender is the exotic one. Trinity Ghoul is another one. I think that's exotic. So that's 4. And this one, there were like 2 or 3 different stages that you had to do just to get to it. And that thing was a process, okay, to get. But once you get it, it's one of the coolest bows in the game because you can shoot these eggs that give you loot, right? But only this bow can do that. And then you can also see through walls, which is cool. And it does super, super crazy amount of damage to Taken, if I remember correctly. And I've been playing around with that. And then there's also this thing where people were farming the Black Armory weapons early. I think there's 2 sections on Earth, if I remember correctly. Don't blast me. I'm doing this off of memory, right? So there's 2 sections on Earth. I believe it is Outskirts, which is south, right? And then there's the Gulch, which is north, right? Northeast, I think, right? And then Nessus has 2 sections, which is Hollows something, and then there's another section. I don't remember the other section for Nessus. So basically, between 7 to 10 minutes, you can hang out in this particular area, and then an enemy would spawn, and you take out the orbs protecting the enemy, then kill the enemy to try to get weapons for Black Armory, which releases, I think, this upcoming week, which is the 4th, I think, right? So that's happening right now in that space. Wish Ender was really cool, and that's all the Destiny stuff I have on my mind right now.
Taco says, now you need to carry him because he needs that Wish Ender.
Yeah, that Wish Ender's dope. I got carried. So shout outs to Lego Dragons for carrying me through that. And yeah, I'm really having fun. So earlier, if you're listening now in this stage of this particular episode, I was talking about why I broke away from my clan to be a free agent to get picked up. So the theory was, I'm going to mention it real quick, where I decided that it was easier for me to let everybody go, be a free agent to get picked up by whoever they wanted to get picked up by. And my theory was, if I'm a free agent, maybe somebody would pick me up, which is probably very arrogant and overconfident maybe. But at the same time, I wasn't going to say, hey guys, can you add me to your clan? I wasn't going to ask, but whoever asked me first is where I was going to go. And that's what ended up happening with that whole situation. So Wish Ender is exciting. I'm really happy that I finally got it. But the thing with Wish Ender is, although it sees through walls, there's an exotic that I usually rock right now. I thought I was done with Destiny news, but I'm thinking about this. Let me get this out, Daniela. Let me get this out. There's this helmet that you get, right? And this helmet allows you to track. It's called the Foe Tracer. So even if I don't have the Wish Ender, this is like a little tip thing for the Destiny people. Even if you don't have the Wish Ender, but you have Foe Tracer, you know when the guy is going to pop out from behind cover with the bow and arrow. So the same thing that technically that they're using to get you from behind cover, if you're using the Foe Tracer helmet, you can time that yourself to combat them. So there's really not an advantage for them technically if you have the Foe Tracer helmet on, the exotic, or if you have a Wish Ender yourself. Just random thoughts there. So that's what's happening with that. Daniela.
Yes.
Nintendo content guidelines and YouTube content creators. Did you see any of that stuff?
Yeah. And I think it took Nintendo forever to get to this point. I'm glad that maybe and hopefully they are going to stop with these like shutdowns and takedowns of their content being out there. A lot of it makes sense. The rules make sense to it. It's just that if you're going to be using any of their games, their videos or anything like that you have to add your commentary over it. You can't just take something that they created and repost it and then it's just going to be on your channel. It needs to have, I guess, some type of commentary or talking or explanation that goes with the video that also makes it your own. Like you're putting your work and your effort towards it, which makes makes sense. I still think it's kind of ridiculous that there's some people that are still complaining about it. I think I almost got sucked into this argument about it. It's like, oh, well, there's people who create Let's Plays. I'm like, well, then those people who make Let's Plays will have to add some type of commentary over it. Well, not everybody can get a mic. And I'm like, well, you know what? If you can have a PC that's capturing this stuff and you're recording it, you're editing these videos,
right?
Don't tell me you can't get a mic. Okay? There's no excuse. You can make it happen. I don't know why people complain about it. I think that's a great step forward because they can see that, this is really good marketing for them, for people to be able to share their videos and their experiences and their fandoms for, Nintendo games.
Word. According to this little quote here, as long as you follow some basic rules, we will not object to your use of gameplay footage and or screenshots captured from games for which Nintendo owns the copyright and the content you create for appropriate video and image sharing sites. A statement on Nintendo's website reads. Interesting.
Makes sense.
Makes sense to me. All right, so that's what's going on with that. Rocksteady is not making Superman. There's something that they're making that they're working on right now, according to the tweet that they sent out recently, but it's not Superman, which it would have been cool if it was Superman, though.
It would have been. I don't know if I would want a Superman. Is there like a desire to have a Superman game?
It would have been cool to see it, especially from that studio that brought us all those dope Batman things that they made. I think that would be.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in that sense, I think it would be awesome to check out. But they're not making it. Looking forward to seeing what they're going to, any company really, are going to say or do during the Game Awards, which is next Thursday. What is that, 6 or 7? Let's see. That's 6. So looking forward to seeing what happens with that. Okay, so 2 more things, and then we'll open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that you want to share with us before we close out, we'll definitely ask you to do that once we open it up to questions. But 2 more things specifically. This one is just an announcement because I don't want to get banned or blocked from anything. This is just sharing information, okay, as we do here. The Anthem closed alpha was something that was publicly mentioned that you guys can sign up for. That's all I have there. Daniela, what's up?
I've been trying to get into that link for the last several days. Like, I'm amazed. I'm like, yeah. It always comes up as busy. Okay, wait. I didn't check today. I checked yesterday.
Check
and the
right
day
now.
before that.
Check right
and the
now.
day before that.
Check live. Check it now.
Check live. Oh my goodness.
Check it.
But
now.
yeah.
Copy
I'm having
link.
problems getting in.
Copy link address.
This is as far as I always get. Right here. The sign in is where I get stuck.
And it just sits there?
Yep, it just sits there.
They can outsource on Fiverr a voiceover person.
They could. They really could. If they provide the script, I guess, that they want to use. There's other voice acting voiceover sites that you can use too for a lot of great voice actors. I mean, not that you need a voice actor, but if you want to really hire somebody to do your voiceovers, which I think is an absolutely ridiculous thing, it's there.
I'm telling you, man, one of the dopest villains, Kingpin and Daredevil, he's just so dope. So dope.
And Goro also says there's a desire to have quality superhero games akin to Batman, Arkham, and Spider-Man. There is. For some reason, I don't think it's a Superman that way.
Word. So yeah, Anthem.
Well, yeah, that's as far as I get on the site right there.
Keep trying, because I want to share thoughts with you once they open it up.
I'm trying. I hope to get there soon.
Next thing from you is Persona 5 Dancing Edition. Talk to me about that.
All right, so it's more than just Persona 5. It's actually 3 different games in the Persona series, but they're all the dancing version. So, very, very lucky. Atlas reached out and gave us the opportunity to review their Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight and Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight, which has been bundled up into, make sure I get this all titled correctly. I had it right here too. Dancing, and there's a lot of dancing.
There's a lot of dancing.
There is a lot of dancing.
I saw you playing that too. I was just like,
it was, and it was actually a lot of fun. So it does take place in the Persona series, but it has a lot of characters and inspiration from it. And one of my questions, because I haven't played Persona, any of the Persona games. I did buy 5 last year's Black Friday, but I have yet to even touch it. And I feel like I'm lucky to be able to experience this game without that idea at the same time. I think it's always good to have a review of somebody that's an outsider that's like looking in and getting to see it, because playing this, even though I know that the main series is nothing like this, this is a lot of fun. I got to, experience and know the different characters as part of it and their personalities, and I thought it was very cutesy that I'm like, okay, I need to clear out whatever games is ahead of it to play this game. Like, I want to play 5. 5 is going to be the one that I'm jumping in on. And the people that tuned in, they told me that, 5 is a great jumping point. And none of the previous games before have, really the stories are all on their own. So it's not a continuation. I'm not missing anything. And I can work my way back if I really wanted to. So this one is just like you wake up, or you're not necessarily wake up. You're in a dream that you're kind of woke up in, and you're just dancing in it. And when you wake up, you won't remember that any of this happened. So what it is you get the entire. Well, I got the entire bundle series, which is the Persona Dancing Endless Night Collection, which that's a really long title. Which you get Persona 3. Dancing in Moonlight, Persona 5, Dancing in Starlight, and on top of that, you also get Persona 4, Dancing All Night, I believe. Yeah, Dancing All Night.
Dancing all night.
Like, lots of dancing here. I love and the music was actually so good that I was really enjoying it. Even for somebody, I love rhythm games, because this is what it is. It's a rhythm game. I love them, but I'm not necessarily that good at them. This one did not feel so daunting or frustrating or even have as steep of a learning curve. I felt it was much more forgiving than your typical rhythm games that are out there. Because from my previous experience on other rhythm games, it's like you have easy, you have normal. Okay, that's great. Like I'm getting used to this. I understand the rhythms. But then once you choose hard, it's like a whole other game. It's frustrating. At least it is for me. And I can never get the beat of it down. This one, like I switched and tried several of the songs, especially the songs that I was enjoying on hard. And I'm like, I wasn't the greatest at it, but I was still enjoying it. I didn't feel like so overwhelmed or daunting. And the characters I have going on in the background was so bizarre.
The dancing was bizarre because I was watching you stream and I'm like, why is he moving like that? It's like weird. What is he doing?
It is weird, but that's what made it so great. Like the first song that I did, he was just like dancing on the sidewalk, and I felt like none of his dance moves went to the beat to the song at all. It's like somebody's like, dance like you don't care. And I thought that adds so much more flavor to it. I loved it. One of my favorite songs, I can't remember the title of it, but it was like you're in this like all boy band, like going down in the van. I was like, this is fantastic. And there's just so much colors coming at you. It was a lot of fun.
So now, can you do a mat with that?
Can you do a what?
Can you do a floor mat?
What do you mean a format?
Like a floor mat where you're pressing the stuff with
floor
your
mat.
feet?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's available for that. Although that would be really, really cool because I'm sure that it would be just as awkward of a dance. Like I felt that was more of like an interpretive dance than it was anything else. Like just go where the music feels for you.
Right.
But no, it was all on controller. This was available on PS4 and on Vita. The thing is, I was having like the controls on the Vita felt great, but I was trying to figure out, I didn't test it, I didn't get to try it, how it would be played on, the Vita itself. I'm assuming that it makes good use of the back controller, the back pad of the Vita for the scratching, because to be able to use a PS4 controller for the circles that come outwards that says scratch, you have to use a joystick. For everything else, for the button pressing, you're using the the triangle, the circle, and the X for everything on the right hand side. Then you're using the up, left, and down for everything on the left side. So on the right and the left, and then you're using the either joysticks for the scratching.
So the difficulty picks up when you're with speed, as far as like how fast they're giving you the commands on the screen.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, it gets a little bit more complex, but it really wasn't that bad at all. I really loved it. In both 3 and 5, you have these different modes that you can go ahead and check out, which you have like, the soundtrack that you go in and listen to that has a lot of remixes from the actual game itself. You have the dancing mode, which is what I was playing in. You also have like English and Japanese voiceovers, which I love having that option. Most of the time I do choose Japanese voiceovers, and it's social. So you can unlock more of the story and learn more about the characters by, meeting their requirements. So it opens up like cutscenes to have these conversations with them, find out what they're there, what's happening, their thoughts, become better friends with them. On top of that, like, there's little mini quests of like, hit X amount of good hits for this song, or get perfect on this amount of times to unlock and learn more about him. By doing that, you unlock different outfits, accessories. You can dress up their partners, because even though like majority of the songs you're playing is that one main character, there's these fever moments in which another character comes in and starts dancing with you, and it just gets even crazier, this duo dancing that's going on.
Right.
And then if you pre-order it or get the day one edition bonus, some of the outfits that you can actually unlock and get is for let me see Shin Megami actually Tensei inspired costumes. which I thought was really, really cool. I had a lot of fun with this game. I'm going to go back and play it. And I just so want to get to playing Persona 5. I mean, I know it doesn't have anything to do directly with this series, but I love
just 5, not
just
dancing, right?
Well,
That's
no,
what
I
you're
want to play
referring
the dancing. Well, yeah, just 5, not the dancing one. Just like
I started
the main
I started
series.
playing 5 and I dig it. I think it's my first. I mean, I didn't just start playing like this year, but was it? I felt like it was a while since maybe 2 or 3 chapters in, and just the graphics, the way the game looks, and the music, and all those things, the dialogue between the characters and how you move around, it's really, really nice. It's really, really nice. I was actually surprised. I was pleasantly surprised that I was digging it as much as I was.
Wow, and that's not typically like a genre that you play either. So that says a lot. That says a whole lot.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely dug that.
So thank you to Alice for this opportunity to play it. I didn't realize it was contain all 3 games. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I need those. I need all those titles so I can make a note. So I could definitely make a note. But yeah, you look like you were having a lot of fun. I was just trying to figure out, like, what you explained it, how the buttons, how you were doing the inputs for the moves, and I'm like, how is that happening? So, but I get it now.
It's simple and complex at the same time. That's why I was saying that, like, that learning curve was really, really quick. Like, I've never played this before. I think I went through 1 tutorial of it, and then I realized, like, I can just play. Let's just go into it. Let's do no tutorial and just play. And it was very easy for me to, like, pick up and understand what my purpose was and what I had to do. So I'm like, what's the point of this tutorial? Let's just get into it. And it was fun. It's very, very first timer friendly.
Word. That's
and again, these dance moves are just so bizarre. Like
they are.
And the thing is, like, when you start off the story and everything and the cutscenes, like, these characters tell you, like, I'm a terrible dancer. I can't dance. Like, yeah, it shows.
Yeah.
But you just go for it, and you have but yeah, this is developed and published by Alice. The official release date for this bundle is December 4th. So this Tuesday. It's available on PS4 and on Vita. So you can get the Persona 3, Persona 5 dancing for $59.99. You can get it on Vita for $39.99. And then you can get the PS4 Endless Night Collection, which is the series that I played out, for $99.99. As well as there is a Vita Megaverse costume pack that you can get for $69.99.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Night collection.
Yeah, the fact, like, that sounds like a lot for the $100 for the collection, but you're getting all of these extra costumes, you're getting all these things, plus you're also getting 3 whole games.
Word.
So it was great. I think one of the questions in my chat was like, why does this game exist? And I was like, well, Japanese people really love their music rhythm games, and they're fun. And, like, the Persona series in Japan is huge. Why not? Even if it seems like a money grab, it's not a bad money grab. Does that make sense? It's like, there's some people who just, like, there's some series and some studios that they're just pumping out games, but they're not really necessarily good.
Like, Fallout 76 is not a bad money grab, or is it?
It's not, I wouldn't say it's a bad money grab. It's just poorly executed. I would say Gears of War Judgment that was terrible.
You hate that game.
I do.
I know.
Really do.
I know.
Or when the Assassin's Creed, they were just popping out all of these Assassin's Creed games, but they weren't necessarily good. They were just trying to capitalize on it, but they were bad. And then they step back, and, they're doing a little bit better. But with, like, this Persona dancing series here, it's a good game. It was fun. I loved it. Word. And it's going to get me to play the other series now. So
yeah, definitely check out Persona 5. It's very, very good. Very good. So yeah, so that's all we have for our notes. If you have any questions for us, let us know before we get out of here. This is episode 479 of the show radio. 479, you say? Why 479? Because 478 is already in the feeds, because we had an awesome conversation with Ming from Muse 6 Headphones. That is on Indiegogo right now. I think they probably have, I had that conversation Friday, so this is Sunday. So they have 5 days left on their Indiegogo campaign, if I did that math correctly. Definitely awesome conversation surrounding that headset for $478. This is episode 479. If you have any questions for us, let us know before we close out. If you don't, then we will get up out of here. Danielle, how you feeling?
Feeling good. I realized that I got to get some stuff ready, and my son's birthday is this coming Saturday.
Word.
That's so weird.
Okay.
Every year that he gets older, it's like, wow, I have an X-year-old person. This year he turns 15.
Word.
Bizarre.
Growing up.
Thank you, Taco, for showing up. Appreciate you guys being here.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that wish ender stuff, man. Like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Because I saw this one cat. He was trying to do it, and I'm like, I see you, though. I know when you're coming out from the cover because I have Faux Tracer on. So you're not really that much of a threat to me if I didn't have that exotic. So if you have that, consider using that. But yeah, so we'll work out the details on when you want to use. Okay, so don't do what I did. Don't make the mistake that I made where I didn't use the full armor set for Dreaming City. Because if you use the full armor set for Dreaming City and you have that bounty for that, you get a legendary piece. I did the full set of something else. And I did Shattered Thrones, and there was a bounty that if you did Shattered Thrones with the full set of Dreaming City, you get a engram for that. And I didn't do that. I realized that I went through the whole thing and I lost out. So don't do that. Don't make the mistake that I made, but I'm definitely down to do Shattered Thrones again if you're down. I think that's it. That's all I got, Daniela.
That's all I got. I usually wear it there to cause more damage.
Yeah, and there's a thing for that too, because if you use the armor for more damage, Riven's Curse, you also take more damage, which is why I don't like wearing it, because it's like you're taking more damage, but you're receiving more at the same time. So it's like, you know, the armor looks cool, so it has that, you know, that thing attached to it. But it's definitely worth if you want to do it for the bounty and stuff. So Destiny.
All right, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to close it out here. You guys have a fantastic week, and see you guys on the next show for episode 480. Yeah, it'll be 480. All right. So thanks for tuning in to our podcast, Missed Our Live Show. You can join our Discord where you can leave questions and be a part of our community. Head over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app and subscribe, rate, and review our show. For our show notes, visit theshowradio.info. And thanks for tuning in, and see you on the next one.